From waking up early in the morning, taking my first cup of coffee, turning on my AV receiver, plugging in my brand new headphones into the AV receiver, getting warm, hefty audio, switching the channel on the receiver, making sure that my sound card is working for the microphone, taking my controller, and the day can begin. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the LG OLEDs sometimes start to feel a little too real. You can get an eerie feeling like the TV is actually looking at you. That's a really weird feeling. I would not say that it would be possible, honestly, but it is. When you're playing a dark game, or even it doesn't have to be a dark game, but there's just a dark scene in the game and you've manipulated the settings in a certain way, it can start looking really realistic and extremely eerie, honestly. It really gives me horror vibes, even though the game is not supposed to be horror. Now, many games that aren't supposed to be dark when it's night can look insane with some really surreal settings that you can modify on the TV. A game like Fallout 4 doesn't really look like nighttime with sparkling stars, but you can make this into a reality with an LG OLED. Now, a game that completely blew me away on the LG OLED, the first one that I tried out, was Elden Ring. This game normally looks kind of bland, pretty washed out honestly, but on an LG OLED with changed settings, this game looks incredibly realistic. I'm honestly pretty scared playing this game walking in the dark caves. Just look at this amazing footage. Now, a game I think nobody expected on this list is Helldivers. This game just becomes insanely scary when it's nighttime. Explosions, colors popping, the darkness enshrouding your entire room, man. You will never experience a shooting game the same after buying an OLED, man. Let me tell you that. An LG OLED in Helldivers 2 with HDR looks insane with adjusted settings. Now, I have to include Cyberpunk 2077 on this list because this game just looks incredible on an LG OLED in HDR. Now, imagine a real horror game, because we have talked about games that aren't even horror games. Well, yeah, that won't be in this video, and I've talked about that several times on this channel. But yeah, that goes overboard. You really get a super scary feeling that somebody's creeping up your asshole, man. Super scary. So yeah. Do you need a setup like this? No, you don't. You don't have to make your entire room into a dark room. You can sit in a bright room, you can have windows opposite of the TV. Yeah, you have diminishing returns no matter what you do when you come to this level. But I would say, even if you buy an LG C4, and even if you buy a B4, and it's a 42-inch, you're still gonna get an immense experience, man. Just dial in the settings, make sure that everything is looking more and more realistic when you dial in the settings. Dark is deep, but you still see most of the details there, but try to mimic what the eyes would see in real life, right? That's when you start to feel that eerie feeling that the TV is looking at you. If you're just dialing in the settings, making stuff darker and deeper, but it doesn't really feel realistic, then you're doing something wrong. There is a feeling that you can get when you sit in a dark room looking into an OLED. It really does feel like it's looking at you. You know that feeling if you're walking out in the forest in the middle of the night, like walking your dog or whatever, and you feel that feeling of somebody looking at you. You're being watched, like that feeling. You're being followed almost, but you're looking around, you don't see anyone. I get that feeling all the time from this TV. Now, might sound like I'm schizophrenic or whatever it's called, schizo when I say that, but I mean it, man. The certain settings that you put in really change the entire experience. Watching a movie on this TV, a horror movie, an action movie, whatever it is, you're gonna be blown away no matter the size you have. Of course, it's gonna be even more crazy the larger the TV is. Like this TV towers above me at 77 inches. Having The Logitech sound system 5.1 in the room, that's also extremely extreme. Like, you don't have to have that. And the sound dampening panels, it's because, like, man, I'm an audiophile. I like audio not to echo. I like it to sound crispy and warm. Like, I get a kick from it. So gaming with all of this, I think this costs around like $5,000 USD, man. It's expensive, but I don't have enough money to buy it. I bought it, I saved up a little bit, I bought this thing, and I saved up a little bit, and I bought this thing. But at the end of the day, I live in my parents' basement, so I don't have to buy rent or pay for rent or whatever, so I can't afford this. It took like 4 months pay from my job to be able to buy every single thing. And I wanted all of them like ASAP, right now. So I was okay with being super broke every single month because I bought all of this stuff. I see this as an investment. When I move out, this all goes into the apartment, right? It's not crazy at all. I'm keeping all of this, of course. So it's an investment for my future so that I am gonna be able to have all of this as I move out. I don't know when that will be, but just the idea of me being able to have all of this already prepared and ready, it's amazing. I don't have to think about needing to pay for a TV. Costs like $3,000 USD. It's insane. I don't think it's possible to buy this kind of stuff if you live in an apartment, if you don't like really care about it and you really want to pay for it. So if you live in an apartment, I would say buy a 55-inch LG C4. You don't have to have a 77-inch like me. If you want to go overkill though, go 77-inch. Buy surround sound. I will leave my surround sound in the description below. I advocate for it so much, man. It sounds so good. And the better sound dampening you have, even more expensive it's gonna sound, of course. 500 watt RMS bass, which is, if you live in an apartment complex, you are gonna shake the entire freaking building, man. You're gonna have to dial it down a little bit on the bass, but you're gonna be proud either way of how it sounds. Yeah, I have nothing more to add to this video. What do you guys think? Would you buy an OLED? Do you already have an OLED? Are you happy with your OLED? Or did these settings that I'm talking about on my channel really revolutionize how you look at your TV? Because you can do this with movies as well. You don't have to do this just with like a game. Like, you can make everything look so customized and so pure towards what you want. That I think just comparing the LG OLEDs to a Samsung or Sony, they don't have white and black stabilizers. You can't do this kind of calibration, and those TVs don't have a black screen coating. So the TV never really looks purely black. Only in a peak dark room you will get that dark effect from those OLEDs. But the LG OLED, even in a bright room, looks like a deep void. That's the crazy thing, right? You will have some reflections on all of these TVs. That's the thing from windows. In my setup, I don't have that because I don't have any windows on the other side of the wall, like opposite of the TV. But yeah, you'll notice this TV, 42 to 77 inches, it looks deep, man. Dark, scary, eerie. It looks like it's looking at you when you're playing on it. So yeah, it's another thing, man. It's an eerie experience, and I'm almost a little bit scared for this TV. It's a little terrifying. It's like it's alive almost in a way. I can't explain it. You'll have to buy one, try it out, adjust settings, really dial everything in, and it'll take like a week for you to really get used to the TV. But after that, man, you're never going back. Thank you guys for watching. I want to hear you guys' comments about all of this stuff in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one.